So this is my first video to put on YouTube, and I can't think of anything better to talk about than one of my favorite trees, Willow. And here we have just some cuttings that I put in the ground probably a year or two ago that I have pollarded. And these here are creek willow or black willow. I believe the scientific name for them is Salix nigra. And they're an excellent tree. They're one of my favorite trees to give to rabbits. They've got a lot of leaves on them. The rabbits really like to eat the young stems too. So these here are pretty impressive as far as how much they put on. We're in towards the end of April, and they've already put on a lot of growth. But even though they're great because you can find them just about anywhere, and you can take those cuttings and stick them in the ground and you have a whole nother tree, there's one willow that I like a lot better, and that's the hybrid willow. And let's go take a look at it. So this here is the hybrid willow, and as you can see, which now this tree is about a year older than the others, but as you can see, my hand just barely fits around the trunk. My thumb there just barely touches my index finger. So it's got a pretty thick trunk. You're looking at maybe like a 2-inch in diameter, and it's also been pollarded. As you can see, if we get in here close, you can see that I've cut off the limbs here at about maybe 4 foot high, and it has just put on a massive amount of growth. It's definitely the best willow for producing a lot of fodder. Let me see if I can't flip the camera around here. So as you can see, I'm about 6 foot tall, and these shoots are coming up well over my head. I'd say probably 7, close to 8 foot tall. And you can see that I pollarded them at about maybe chest height. So you've got a whole 2 foot of growth there in just maybe 2 months of growth. And now we're not really into the growing season yet. These trees, once they get growing, about May to June, July, August, up until you get just a drought, they're gonna put on just amazing amounts of growth. So I've seen as much as about 10, 12 foot in a season. But the thing about these is I wanna come in here every so often, just depending on how the tree reacts, and I want to come in and harvest fodder off of these trees. So what I like to do when I'm harvesting willow for my rabbits is on any of these trees, as you can see, I've got my 3 shoots here, got my suckers coming off, and the majority of the growth is up here at the top. So what I'll do is, say 1 week on this specific tree, I'll come in and I'll take off just 1 limb's growth of shoots and feed that to my rabbits. And then I'll give it a week to several weeks rest, just depending. But what I'll do a lot of times is I'll put these plants in rotation. Now, I've only got this one and this tree right now that are you know, in their 3rd year of growth. I've got a lot more that I'm weaving into fences. As you can see, this tree here is just so tall. I mean, this growth right here that's coming off of this limb is from last year, and it's at least 6 foot of growth on this tree. And as you can see, I've come in here and I've taken off one of these limbs, well, these 3 little ones off of this limb, and I'm gonna wait for that to start to regenerate before I come and harvest another limb. And the good thing with these is, if you let them the last few months of the year, let them grow up and then bloom out like this in the spring, is you get a ton of leaves on them, but you also have this growth that is 1 year growth. And now you can harvest this in the wintertime and make new trees, but I like to be able to take them during the summertime, put them in water, or now I'm more into doing like a wicking bed, and you take all the leaves and then you save the stems and plant new trees into pots in a wicking bed, which can be something as simple as just a pot in a container of water, to where that water gets sucked up into the pot and helps those stems root. And so every time I harvest, I'll get 10, 20 trees that I can have for the next year. So it's all about keeping it on a rotation. That's why I've got so many of those black willows planted, is to be able to go in these rotations, take off a portion, and then allow the tree to recover some and visit it again once it's had time to do so. So I wanted to get a shot here before I finish the video of myself standing in front of this willow. I mean, a 3-year-old willow with like 3 or 4 months growth at the end of the season, the very next year, all filled out. I mean, these trees are amazing. So if you like this sort of thing, if you're interested in fodder trees, homesteading, permaculture, and a whole bunch of other stuff, stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel. Getting subscribers will help get more videos like this out. Leave a like if you liked the video, and leave a comment with any questions you might have, or any comments or any suggestions. Thanks.